What's up, guys? It's a Sunday morning. It's about 5 degrees here, so it's pretty good, pretty warm. I wanted to talk about today a few things. I've been thinking a lot about how, just the mindset or the train of thought of people and how they come to their conclusions. And in my personal life, in just listening to people and their just personal views, I guess. But I'm gonna make it's a kind of political. I'm gonna make a political conclusion on it. I'm tired. It's early in the morning, but anyways, so I think that people have kind of a mental discipline, and different people have different ways of coming to a conclusion. This will come to no surprise to anybody, but there's, certain groups of people think more, quote-unquote, scientifically than other groups. And what I mean by that is the definition of a scientific conclusion is you have gone to great lengths to prove a theory wrong. Not scientists don't look for, true scientists don't look for the evidence that supports their theory. They look for evidence that refutes their theory. And so by going through that process, the process takes more work than just, if I have a theory and I'm looking for evidence that supports that theory, then I find one or two articles and I think I'm right. If I have a theory and I look for evidence that refutes that theory, then forces me to also look at the evidence that supports the theory and the evidence that refutes it, and put together this is just what I do. I just put together as much information as I can, make sure that I am not missing a perspective of the situation. Do you know what I mean? And that's another thing. You need, especially political, to come to a conclusion about a situation. I've learned through actually being wrong about a lot of things that you need to learn about both sides, and you need to give respect to both sides in a situation, or else you're just going to you're going to come in with an extreme answer, a one-sided answer that will seem unbalanced to somebody who knows a little bit about both sides. So that's how I kind of come to my conclusions, and I've noticed that not everyone thinks that way, and it's okay. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. It's not about me, but just some people and there's people who put more work than I do. It's just about if you decide to put more work into finding out if something's true or not. That's all. It's not about anything else. And so I've noticed through talking to kind of different people online that if they're assuming they're being truthful and assuming they're saying what they feel, then they come to logical conclusions much easier, and based on kind of feeling about something. Do you know? Whenever you hear somebody say that, I believe this is true, that is just a fucking red flag for me anyway. Because it's just I haven't put much work into it, but based on the limited knowledge, it's true. And so instead of saying that, what I try to say is, I don't know a lot about it, but this is how I feel about it based on what I know. So you need to discredit yourself a little bit. So anyways, sorry about that. So so one thing that's kind of hard to do, but it's necessary to do, and I don't know, like, I haven't studied philosophy or psychology or any of that, but there's kind of a method of that which is called CBT, and it's called cognitive behavioral therapy. And what it does is, and what I think different news organizations are doing, and I guess this is what just news is, I guess, but one thing that that happens is, if you, and this will make me seem manipulative as fuck, but I'm not. I'm aware of it, and I really, once you know these things, you need to be even more vigilant so you don't use them selfishly, you know what I mean? So that's why, by having these things, you need to have principles, or else you're just manipulating everything around you for your own good. And hopefully I'm not doing that unconsciously. I really try to be aware that I'm not doing that. But anyways, so cognitive behavioral therapy, it's like you pretty much, when people have lines of logic, like they think, oh, this means this and that means that, so this means this, you know what I mean? Like, just in everything. And a lot of times that's the problem. That's where the misinformation, or like just belief in something that is based on insecurity or fear, you know what I mean? Like, people come to conclusions about other people out of laziness as well, or for ideas as well, out of laziness, out of prejudice, out of anything, like. And so what I think a good job that, what the news can do is change those lines of logic, but first you need to understand the opposition's lines of logic, or else it'll seem abrasive, and it'll seem like it'll trigger a fight response, and it's actually not a good thing to try to trigger a fight response. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's thought about this, but it's much better to come from a balanced perspective, where it seems like you're giving credit to both sides, even though you don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, to make yourself seem more balanced and more kind of normalized. But what you do in that is you incorporate the CBT, where you lead them into the right direction. You know what I mean? And I really hope people, like, I know people use this shit for bad, but and it really works, and it's kind of fucked up how well it works. So yeah, I just think that is a good thing to think about anyways. Like, you can't do this on a daily basis, or like, I feel bad that I even know about this shit, because I notice myself doing it unconsciously, and I feel bad about it, because it's I don't like that. I just don't like the idea of manipulation, but for the greater good, I think good brainwashing, like actually washing to get clean, is a good thing, as long as it's in the right direction, and it's a fucking sketchy thing, and hopefully even know what I'm talking about, or maybe I need to go into more detail. Please let me know if you want me to give specific examples of this. I'm just kind of walking and talking right now, but anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.